Welcome to the NFL. Let's go! Let's go!
Welcome in. Jeremy Popielarz here with you as always. It is week 6 and we've arrived. Just hit halftime in the London game. Less than exciting. The Jets are jetting, we'll call it. Garrett Wilson, just being Patrick Surtain. Rule verbiage names here for the beginning of this week 6 start sit show. As usual, FTN Fantasy, check them out. That's who's hosting it. That's who sponsors this. We're on their channel. Pretty obvious there, but definitely check us out at FTN Fantasy for all the rankings throughout the week, everything that you can keep up with throughout it. And it has been a wild weekend, we'll say here, and honestly Sunday. Early on, I start my sit thread well before this 11 a.m. And we already had a ton of Michael Carter questions. I was leaning Michael Carter, like the spot for him this week, thought it was decent. Wasn't a smash start by any means. However, just got even worse to the point of almost let's just avoid it. With Bam Knight coming out here just shortly before coming on that he is the air quote starter. So that's going to be a concern. Obviously, not everybody's going to tune back into this show, and not everybody's going to come circling back on those start sit questions, but hopefully you do, and hopefully you do kind of re-ask that question, because it's likely that some of those will change. Definitely do not have time to go back through and re-answer all those questions. So do your due diligence, swing back through, and I'll try to get those answered as much, because that definitely muddies the waters on a tough matchup to begin with, and a team that doesn't have Kyler Murray and likely is going to struggle a little bit to find the end zone, we'll say. So I wouldn't necessarily be running to the waiver wire to fire up any of those said players. Again, not out on them. I would never say I'm out. I do think that one of them likely will be probably viable. Hard to know exactly which one, though, at this point. So, again, try to lean to a more safer approach, I guess, at that running back position or flex play. Yeah, so that's it. That's where we're at, David. For sure. Definitely a big mold and kink in the fold here. Also seeing Quentin Johnson likely not playing. A ton of different issues here. So, David, how's it going? We're gonna have plenty of questions, I am sure. Hopefully, you guys can make it back in here and get those questions tossed in, and I'll go through as many as I can prior to getting out of here. I'm sure we'll have some more inactives as well here as we head towards the 1 p.m. window to get those lineups pretty much locked. David, how are you? Another day, another time. Traded Nico, Jennings, Walker, and Jones for JSN, Hall, and Dobbins. Yeah, I mean, I think you're good. Breece Hall's not having the best game today. Hurts for me as well. Wish the Jets would, do something. I know it's a tough matchup against Denver. Should have kind of expected a little bit of a downtick, but definitely thought we'd get a little more than, 3 first downs in the first half from this Jets offense. But yeah, I like it. JSN is a real good grab there. Dobbins will have better days too. Tough matchup here defensively in a London game. So Hall and Dobbins, I think, will have some better days for you, David, in the coming future. Running backs are Taylor, Jacobs, Hall, Dobbins, Krosky, Moret, Mason, Marsh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, now I see that. It says, is that, I'm assuming that's the trade question, or I think you're fine. You don't need many more wide receivers. I would probably keep Jacobs. I'd just ride the running backs, honestly, David. Like CD, JSN, Ted, Marvin Harrison. That's fine. Yeah, it's not super deep, but you're deep enough at running back to counter that. So that's where I would be. Shane, good morning. How you doing? Dak Daniels or Williams, Shane. I'm going Jane Daniels. He's my top quarterback for the week. I like the spot against Chicago. It should be kind of a little back and forth. Both Daniels and Williams are strong starts. Dak is too, but Carolina, I would hope at this point that maybe Dallas can kind of have a game in hand and kind of see a little bit more Javonte, Jaden Blue type of stuff here from Dallas. Hopefully Pickens gets some points in the first half, and then, we can see them ride out that secondary or the running backs in the second half. So I'm going to go with Daniels. I think that's a little bit more of a back and forth game. We've seen that between these two teams already in the past. So I'm going with Daniels. I think that's the play there, Shane. Roger, good morning. Charbonnet, Otten, and Barner. I'm going to go Charbonnet. I know there's a lot of love here for Kate Otten this morning. Been getting a lot of questions in the start sit thread. But he's not really, he may have that chance because there's a lot of people out for Tampa Bay for sure. San Francisco, though, is a tough matchup for tight ends. And typically it's not like he gets a ton of the targets sent his way. So, yeah, I'm going to stay with Charbonnet. It's not exciting, but good chance that he finds the end zone. So, let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get Twitter to operate for me. We're going to go ahead and toss this in here. Please hold. Okay. All right. Now we're back. Pacheco, a drop or hold, David. Yeah, I mean, you could hold them. I guess it depends. When it comes to drops and holds, David, it's always about who's out there and if there's a player that, is going to impact your roster now or what you're going. I would probably hold him. Like him and Kareem Hunt are kind of in a split. It could go either direction. We also have Brashard Smith kind of starting to gain some steam. So I'd just hold them unless you need to add somebody for fantasy points right this second. So let's see here. Dun, dun. Let's scroll back. We got to start. Let's see where we left off here. Okay, tall and talented on X. McConkey, Ridley, Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr. has got a bench one. It would be Ridley for me there. Let's see here. Fins for the win. Who do I start? 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Jacobs, Kamara, White, Dowdle, Jamar, T-Mac, Olave, Ladd, QJ, and Judy. So we got 2 running backs here would be Jacobs and White. 2 wide receivers is Jamar and Ladd. I feel like I answered this question. T-Mac's not bad either. 1 flex would be Dowdle. Yeah, we'll go Ladd. Ben, good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Standard scoring, 8-point receiving touchdown, 10-point rushing touchdown. Need to pick one between Diggs, Warren, and Hunt. Leaning Diggs, what do you think? I agree. I would go with Stephon Diggs. Jalen Warren, he's like a low-end RB2 territory. It's a tough matchup. Also, we saw Kenneth Gainwell go off before their bye, so there's a good chance it's a little bit more of a split than what it was prior to that. So, yeah, I'm going to ride Diggs hot hand right now. Pretty easy matchup against New Orleans. So, Brandon, Krosky, Merritt, or Judkins? This is a tough one, Brandon. I go back and forth on this one. Have had some of these questions kind of in general with some other players tossed in there, but I lean Judkins. I like the matchup for Krosky, Merritt. He's a start for me this week. In most cases, Judkins, though, I have a little bit higher in my rankings. I think that it's a tough matchup against Pittsburgh, but they're gonna ride him with Dylan Gabriel. So I'm gonna go with Krosky, Merritt as the sit here, just because there's a chance we see a little bit more throwing from Daniels and the Commanders than we do from the Browns. I think the Browns are going to this is going to be kind of one of those ugly, just defensive battles in Cleveland. So I'm going to lean to Judkins just by a chin on my hair. So if you have a lean to Bill and Krosky Merritt there, then I'm perfectly fine with you going that way. I think they're both strong starts this weekend. David, need one flex. Charbonnet, Pacheco, Tutton, guys available are Kendry Miller, Tolbert, Tez Johnson, Bond, and other wide receivers in that tier. I'd probably just go Charbonnet. Good chance he scores against Jacksonville this week. Pacheco, again, it's an up and down battle there with him as far as he's a start or not. Not rushing to start him. And then Tutton's kind of the same situation. All three of these guys are the same situation. Kendry Miller, I've got a lot of questions about him this morning. I don't think they're going to necessarily use him more. I guess these questions are arisen from the fact that there's rumors that Kamara is being shopped, so which is fair, but they're going to still use him. They're not going to not use him. I guess maybe people are thinking avoiding the injury, seeing what they got in Kendry Miller, but it's a tough matchup. We saw the Bills struggle to run the ball against the Patriots, and I don't trust the Saints to do that. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Charbonnet there. So we got Minister, Martin Lee, choose one, Haskins, Bam Knight, or Shaheed. It'll be Haskins. I know we just had a little bit of I guess we could call it monologue at the beginning of it, of the show here, but despite Knight being named the starter, I'm not rushing to start him because I do still think Michael Carter's involved. So I will go with Hassan Haskins, who I think is going to be a little bit more of a lead type back as opposed to what Bam Knight would be. PPR, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, or Kenneth Walker. So that one I would go Walker. And then Dak or Daniels would be Daniels for you, Omar. And then Flowers or Shaheed. I would go Shaheed, I suppose, there. Let's see here. What's going on? I don't mind picking up him, I guess, David. I feel like again, you got to pick your poison here. Pacheco or Tutton and Miller, like all the same player, literally. Just I guess it would be on who you think has the opportunity. I guess Miller has a better chance than say Tutton or Pacheco as becoming like the lead guy in New Orleans. So yes, he has maybe a higher upside, but that's only if Kamara's moved, and I don't know if that happens. So I would probably say just ride out Pacheco and Tutton if you wanted to drop Pacheco for him. I mean, if neither of these players are starting for you, I mean, I guess Miller's a better bench stash because he could improve your starting lineup in the future. Yeah, I guess. Like I said, all kind of three players that were just making a crystal ball guess as far as who's going to have the bigger role in the future. Pacheco, obviously, with the name, better offense, but Miller, with the rumors around, could have a huge role in the coming weeks here. Football guy on X, Bam Knight or Hassan Haskins. Haskins, again, clearer role. I like the spot for him a little bit better. I know it's a tough matchup, kind of in the basis that the Chargers offensive line's not ideal at the moment, but we just saw Rico Dowdle exploit them hugely. So the unknown, pick 2, Pacheco, Trey Tucker, Jameson Williams, Keon Coleman, Kendry Miller. So I would go Tucker and JMO here for you, the unknown. And David, much like James says here, that was a report I saw this morning too. And Kamara's been vocal about it in the past too, of like he doesn't want to really be traded. So I just don't see it. I think he stays with the Saints as much as it's a lack of usage. Like at this point, he's started there. He's done everything in his career there, and I don't blame him for not wanting to leave. So I don't see Miller having this huge opportunity potentially. So easy 714 Bam Knight or Flowers. You ain't crazy. I would probably go Bam Knight. Flowers limited to an extent. Already with Cooper Rush, already facing a tough defense in the Rams, especially in the defensive line category, which will definitely affect Cooper Rush to an extent. So I will go Bam Knight there. It's kind of pick your poison. GT on X, Ridley or Tucker. I'll go Tucker. Just don't really like the Titans offense right now, if I'm being honest. So just going to avoid that one. Maybe it's Ridley, but I lean to Tucker a touch. Buddha Ball, Caleb Williams or Dak Prescott. I will go Caleb Williams there. A flex PPR Kamara or Bourne. I'd go Kendrick Bourne. So I just don't like the Saints running backs this week in general. Kamara or not, they don't throw him the ball anymore as much as they used to, which was kind of his safety valve as far as fantasy production goes. So we're not seeing that from Kamara anymore, and the efficiency of the run game, not ideal. Definitely tough too against New England. So I will go with Kendrick Bourne, who just coming off a huge week. I don't think we get that same week, but I do think we get a productive week from Kendrick Bourne this week. Ben Cleveland, need to start 2 more Ridley, Knight, and Charbonnet. So I would probably go DJ Moore. Like I said, I think that game's a little bit of a shootout, so I could see both Odunze and Moore having pretty decent days. And then I'm probably going Charbonnet. I'm just not in on Bam Knight or really Carter unless you have a terrible option. Flowers again is an easy 714 has there's injury concerns, so there's a chance he's shut down or really limited. The rest of these guys don't have that bend, so I would probably go DJ Moore and Charbonnet there. Miller, Stan, May, Williams, or Mayfield for quarterback. Drake May. Yeah, I have Drake May against New Orleans. I'm in on it. Big Drake May stan. Let's see here. Injuries been killing me. Yeah, well, yeah. Get 5 starter injuries in 2 of my 3 leagues, and they're not just 1 week. Yeah, I feel you, David. That's all of us. We say it every year. Injuries feel worse than they always have, but I'm gonna say it again. Feels like this year they're the worst. Miller, you're welcome. I like the spot against New Orleans. I'm in. I'm aggressively high on Drake May, so we'll either. If you really want to, Caleb Williams, though, another strong start, Miller. If you don't want to agree with me, it's fair. You don't have to. But I do like Drake May this week. Alicia Brown at running back. Full PPR, Pollard, Charbonnet, Algier, or Haskins. So Pollard and Haskins will be my play there. Alicia, the spots for decent. Pollard, I'm not pounding the table for Tony Pollard. Not a bad matchup though. Same thing for Hassan Haskins going up against the Miami defense that just gave up the RB1 performance of last week to Rico Dowdle. Doug, Kamara, Haskins, Jennings, or Coleman. We'll go with it. We'll keep pounding the table. Maybe we'll just be the Hassan Haskins stream stands. So we're gonna go with here, right? Amanda, she might be circling back with a Carter question over here on X. Carter or Haskins, and it's Haskins now. Yeah, Michael Carter, no longer the starter. He's been dethroned after having a decent game. Hate to see it. Watching Mari DiMercado is going to lead this backfield in touches. After we all saw him get berated on the sidelines, and we're like, oh, and he'll be the guy. You watch. Sus on X, Flowers, Myers, or Golden. Jacoby Myers. Volume's still there. Good matchup this week, so hopefully he can have a pretty good bounce back this week. Tegon D, Dak or May, Carter or Haskins. So that would be May and Haskins for me, Tegan. Let's see here. Jay Waller versus Henry, full PPR, Dubes versus Worthy. So who would have thunk we'd be here with Derrick Henry? Or is he talking about? We'll go Henry if it's Hunter. This has caught me once already this morning. I had a guy in the start sit thread. He's like Warren or Waller, and I was like, "Yo, start up Darren Waller. He's freaking cool, right? And then sent a lineup thing, and it was actually Tyler Warren. And then you had to rebuttal, had to look like an idiot. But if they have a common last name, please send the first initial for some of these so we can decipher it, make it a little bit more accurate answers. Jay, trying to stump me here. And then as far as the wide receiver goes, Jay, that would be Xavier Worthy. I do like Romeo Dubes. Aggressively ranked him this week as well. But Worthy is a top 15 guy. Let's be honest. So MJD, what about Golden versus Zay? I'd go Golden over Zay Jones as well. Zay Jones. Oh my God. I hope it's not Zay Jones. I hope it's not that bad for you. Golden over Zay Flowers. Again, the injury concern, Cooper Rush, the Rams front, like not ideal. Run game that they can't really get going, even though they have Derrick Henry. I would go Matthew Golden. Good spot against Cincinnati. I'm waiting for that explosion game. We've seen the glimpses of it, so hopefully that comes in pretty good. Yeah, Dave. Wind overrated. Honestly, sometimes we take the weather a little too into account. So although windy, depends on stadium construction, a lot of different things. So although it's say 40 miles per hour in, we'll say Baltimore, if the stadium's constructed correctly, you're not getting the 40 mile per hour winds at field level. So again, still affecting, still worth a consideration when you have two close players. I'm fine making that pivot. You got CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase. One's got bad weather, one doesn't. Cool. But I'm not like taking my 10th ranked player and saying, no, I'm not starting him because it's going to be bad weather. You know what I'm saying, Dave? You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying. But yes, I get it. Bad weather. It's supposed to be in Carolina too. It's just, so I hear. Definitely bumped down a few spots there when I heard about the weather forecast in Carolina. Also goes into quarterback play too. Like who's playing quarterback? We could go deep, Dave, when it comes to weather. You got Josh Allen throwing the football, or you got Bryce Young throwing the football. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different things. It is Cooper Rush and Matt Stafford, so definitely could have some effects. Stafford's arm still lively though for the older gentleman he is nowadays. Let's see here. Dr. Jamilian on X. Who you starting between BTJ, McBride, or Warren and Jalen Warren? I'm probably going BTJ here. I know it's been disappointing. Hasn't been the greatest start for BTJ this year, but I still believe this is a decent matchup. Seattle's secondary and defense in general a little injured at the moment, and we saw him kind of bounce back against the Chiefs last week. So don't think it's a world beater from BTJ this week, but a little better than McBride with Brissett and Jalen Warren against the tough Cleveland defense. So Jose on X, who to start, Haskins, Higgins, or Golden. I would go Haskins there. I'm in on the run game. I know some missing offensive linemen, but it is Miami, to be honest. So let's just go with that as our reasoning. Nathan, Eli, flex full PPR, Kelsey, Ramondre, or Myers. Tough. It'd be between Kelsey and Jacoby Myers for me here, Nathan. Myers gets a little bit more volume than Kelsey, but we've seen Kelsey kind of see a little more than what he saw last year. Against the Lions, though, it's a tough spot. I think Kelsey probably scores. I don't think he's going to have a huge day. A little easier to pass on the perimeter against the Lions than for the tight ends. So I would probably go Jacoby Myers here. Unless you get a tight end premium, Nathan, then I would play Kelsey. So pretty much kind of a even draw there for me. I think Kincaid plays. It's a tough matchup against Atlanta. Honestly, both these defenses are pretty strong, Atlanta and Buffalo, against a lot of the skill players. When you look at like fantasy points against right now. So there's a chance. It had a high over and under though, which is, I mean, I get it. It's Bills offense, Falcons can be high flying and explosive at the same time. Doesn't seem like a very prime tight end matchup for all. The Bills are really using Dalton Kincaid, though. So, like, if he's a go, I still lean to Kincaid. If you had the option to maybe pick up Dawson Knox or somebody else that plays on Monday night, like even a dark horse of like a Olamide Zacchaeus or something like that, like sure, maybe I ride it out with Kincaid. I just don't really want to like fire up Bam Knight. If you want to, if you believe that there's a chance he finds the end zone, which there's always a chance, then sure, I'm fine with it. I just think Kincaid feels like a good start this week. I know it's a tough matchup, but I do think that the way that the Bills have been deploying him, he's questionable, but I think he probably plays. So I'm not eager to start Bam Knight there, David. Meldon Dixon on X, Henry, Henderson, or Pollard for RB2. Yeah, we're still rolling Henry here. I'm not getting too crazy. I know, again, hasn't been the best season thus far, but I'm riding it. Romy is Hunter Henry or Darren Waller. I'm going with Hunter Henry. He's a start for me this week. One of my top 3 that I put on our little shorts there over at FTN. I like the spot for him. I know Darren Waller, he had a big week last week. Still probably has a solid week this week, but I mean, maybe a blow up game here from Hunter Henry. Cam, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Zay Flowers, both with backup quarterbacks, and Zay Flowers is injured, Cam. So I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. here. Pounded the table for him since day one. Many people did. I have yet to bail. Still believe heavily that Marvin Harrison Jr. will be okay long term. So, yeah, it's taking a slow progression, but to be honest, Brissett might be a little better than Kyler Murray as far as like for Marvin Harrison Jr. I feel like Brissett will probably take a couple more chances than Kyler Murray will, which might actually help Marvin Harrison like a touch. He's not going to be, over here wide receiver 1 this week, but still think he could have a productive week here for Marvin Harrison. Blake, full PPR, Bill, Henderson, Johnson if he plays, and PPR, Pittman, Flowers, Bourne, Montgomery, or Michael Carter. So that one's pretty easy. The top one is Bill. Like, that's straight up. For me, the second one of Pittman, Flowers, Bourne, Montgomery, and Carter would be Michael Pittman. Blake. I like the spot against Arizona for him. Matt Rose, Rico, or Javante. Yeah, that's Javante. Same game. Likely both seeing a lot of touches. Lead to Javante, though. Yeah, see, I'd be fine going to one of those guys, David, over Kincaid and Knight, to be honest. Knight might have a big game. I mean, who's to know? I mean, I don't know. I just don't expect a ton. Like, I had Carter as the lead with Knight having very minimal options, like as the running back 24. So you're talking like borderline running back 2, borderline flex. Like, Knox would be Kincaid's my tight end 10. So again, probably similar type of point territory. So Knox would slide in there. Komet and Loveland, one could be a decent shot there. So I would personally try to ride out for Kincaid. Reset season, Njoku, Golden, or Travion at flex. I would go Matthew Golden. I think that today could be one of those bigger games from him. Coming off what we've seen is some promising signs thus far. I think that this is a good spot for him against a fairly easy Cincinnati secondary. LGM on X, pick 2, Michael Carter, Kendre Miller, and then Kareem Hunt. So I'd probably go Hunt and Carter. I don't like either, but we got to pick 2 because they need 2 of them. So Kareem Hunt and Carter would probably be my 2. JT on X, need help, Juwan Johnson, Cade Otton, Njoku, or Tunjins. Pick 1. Pretty easy. Tunjins for me. Hot hand at tight end, and I'm going to play it. Why not? FPPR League, I have Nakua, Jennings, Brown, Pacheco, and Ferguson rostered. I need a flex. Flowers, Judy, Coleman, DiMercado, or Laporta, or do I drop one for Olave or Henderson? Yeah, drop Judy for Olave and and play him. The Jets are killing me. Let's see here. Okay. David Kincaid, Henry, or Waller? Henry. Hunter Henry's ahead of both of those for me right now, David, this week. Sean, Doran, half PPR, sit to Bijan, Cook, Achan, Donald, J, Corey, Krosky, Merritt. Well, shucks, Sean. Talk about a running back farm. I'm not saying Bijan Robinson. He's my running back one this week. Good spot against the Bills. Let's be honest. Can't stop the run. Cook. I like James Cook still this week. Atlanta, a little tougher matchup, but still like him. Can't sit Devon Achan. Let's be honest. So, yeah, I guess it's got to be Dowdle and Krosky Merritt. I mean, honestly, you have, what, 5 of my top 20 running backs. So, yeah, I mean, you could start any of them. I think Bijan, Cook, and Achan get the 3 most points of this group, but I like them all. So, yeah, if you have a lean either direction, but Bijan, Cook, and Achan feel like the 3 for me there, Sean. Yeah, this game is gross, David. Okay, and they made us wake up early. I mean, I was up. Let's be honest. I got a toddler. I was up at like 6, bright and early, with a foot in my face. But for you West Coasters, really early, and this is what we're getting. Yeah, I'm glad I recommended a lot of not Cortland Sutton. However, I recommended way too many Garrett Wilson shares out there. So yeah, I apologize. Hopefully, we get some more something to do something. Maybe, hopefully. Webhead, Henderson, or Trey Tucker in flex. Throw a bone at Haskins and hope the rest pays off. I would play Haskins personally. Web head, because I think the risk will pay off if I'm being honest. Ariel here on X. Swift, Waddle, or Dowdle can pick 2. We're gonna stay south, and we're gonna go with the Miami Dolphins and Jalen Waddle, and the Carolina Panther in Rico Dowdle. Like both these guys today. DeAndre Swift, another good, solid start, but lean a little bit to the aforementioned Jalen Waddle and Rico Dowdle. Let's see here. Gatlin, Parrish, Start Olave, or Golden non PPR. I will go Matthew Golden there. Nope. Wrong button. Bum, bum, bum. Oh. It would be fun, although this game has been a atrocious start, but kind of like the Jets to win. Now, if you're a Broncos fan, you aren't liking me right now. I'm just saying, like, yeah. Oh, and they got a safety. Nice. Bo Nix, what you doing? Oh, shoot. As I just said that. I didn't even see that coming because I wasn't paying attention. What did he do? Oh, did he Orlovsky? Oh, no. He just. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, no. He just said YOLO. Oh, the hold in the end zone gets you. She gets you all the time. All right, Panthers fan till I die. Hey, there's better times. I mean, hey, you had Cam Newton at one point. It's not that bad, right? Krosky Moritz, Keenan Allen, or Jawan Jennings. I will go JCM. Krosky Moritz. Yeah, start for me there, Panthers fan. Dun, 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 dun. Why is my computer so shot? What is going on? So we got Brandon on X, down bad, Flex Vidal, Hollywood Brown, Alec Pierce, or Bam Knight, Daniel Jones quarterback, which makes me interested in Pierce. I would probably go Hollywood Brown still. Let's see here. We got Kincaid, Juwan Johnson, Kincaid, Bam Knight, or Kareem Hunt. I will go Bam, Chase Brown, or Tucker Kraft. I will go. I'll go T-Mac. There. My internet. Must be what it is, folks. Maybe it's my internet. I don't know. No, you pay so much money for this stuff, and it doesn't work. Worst part, router's right there. Right there. Maybe I need a new one. I don't know. Good morning, Canes. Literally just answered your question. Since you're here, I'll just go over with you. Dalton Kincaid over Jawan Johnson. Like the spot. I know we've talked about it, especially with David here. Is questionable. I do think he plays. Likely Dawson Knox or somebody's out there for you to add if that does go south a little bit there. Bam Knight over Kareem Hunt for me. Both messy, both meh. But like the spot for Knight, he's at least kind of been named like the starter in that backfield. And then I'm going to lean to T-Mac. I know it's the weather's not ideal, but I do have him still over Chase Brown. And Tucker Kraft is the only interesting one. I just think that Green Bay's so firmly at hand in that game that you see a lot of Josh Jacobs there. So that's where I would go. We got Brandon on here. Haskins, Pollard, Jawan Jennings need upside. I would go with Haskins there for you, Brandon. Let's see here. Dynasty Fanatic on X, Herbert or Caleb Monday. The weather. Oh my God. Can the Jets do anything? I swear. I will go Justin Herbert here, Dynasty Fanatic. Oh, he was so open. What up, Zach? Ooh, Garrett Wilson. So football heritage, Haskins or Bourne. I will go Haskins there. Pittman or Ladd. I still lean Pittman. I know I like the spot without QJ. A little bit more of a benefit there. But I am going to go with Michael Pittman there. Football heritage. Oh, James, I'm sorry. I may have skipped it. I just totally skipped you here as well. I'm sorry. Didn't see that come in. No problem if it's duplicated. It happens. I get lost in a lot of questions and stuff going on in the morning. But when I'm here, I'm all yours, James. So let's see here. Skipped over on X. Need help. Tunges or Waller, flex Kamara, Trey Tucker, or another tight end, or pick up Thornton, Horton, Flournoy, or Shepard. Okay, James. So I would take Waller over Tungens here. And then if you need to flex one, we're looking at, so you can either play Tungens, Kamara, Tucker, or pick up Thornton, Hunter, or Horton, Flournoy, and Shepard. I'd probably play Tucker. So I'd play Waller and Tucker here, James. I like the spot for the Raiders offense against the Titans. I think they should be able to throw the ball fairly well. I like Myers and Tucker. Bowers being out helps a little. Michael Mayer is still a very capable tight end, so he will probably have a decent day as well. But I lean to Tucker. Like the run game for the Saints don't love it. Miller's kind of starting to get more involved. Kamara's not getting the passing work. The Patriots are a pretty good run defense, so I'm not like firing up Alvin Kamara by any means at the moment. The rest of those guys are just guys, and you're hoping one of them scores a touchdown. I don't think Flournoy is going to be needed the way he was in the previous week, so not loving that either from the Cowboys. Shepard's the intriguing one just on volume based on absences of wide receivers in Tampa Bay at the moment. But I'm going to stick with Tucker, who's been pretty solid throughout this and had a few blown up weeks. So I would go Waller and Tucker there for you, James. Delirious, should I drop Fanning for Taysom Hill? No. Don't do it. Taysom Hill, I just we still don't know what that's gonna be. Fanning, we there's signs. Like Njoku had a big game last week. It's going to be kind of a back and forth between Njoku and Fanning, to be honest. But you're going to have the same situation with Taysom Hill and Juwan Johnson. So you're kind of just going laterally. I would go with the guy that's a little bit more of a structured receiver and kind of has a clearer role in that offense. I think Gabriel will probably target the tight ends pretty heavily just from what we saw last week. So James, anytime. And sorry if I did miss you on X. I try to get them all, but just talking about potentially it's my internet, potentially it's X, potentially I don't know, computer, could be tons of things. Technology can't live with it, can't live without it. You know what I'm saying? Mike Ridley or Jennings? I will go Jawan Jennings there for you, Mike. It's Daniel on X. Let's see here. Waller, Tungens. Popular question. Waller, and then Montgomery or Tungens. I would go Monty. Durs on X. Zay Flowers, Ramondre, or Bam Knight. Ooh. I'm going to go Ramondre there. As much as we want it to be Travion Henderson week, I just don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately, for us. I think Ramondre is still involved. So Haskins or Henderson, I will go Haskins there. And David, this is what we call defense. Defense and mistakes. Yeah, this is a bad start. Think about it though, David. It can only get better. It can only get better the rest of the day. So that's a positive outlook, right? Half full, David. Half full. When it comes to fantasy points, not so much. Half empty. But yes, this is atrocious from what I can see. Obviously paying attention to the questions and just peeking over at this. Let's see here. Whoa. Oh, I have 2 Twitter windows open. That's probably what's doing it. Hey, at least it's over before it starts, David. The pain. You're not riding it out. Yeah, the 9:30 games just I get what the NFL's doing. They're trying to expand to other countries, blah 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 blah. But it's just like every week now, it's kind of like becoming a nuisance. Every now and then was fun. It was exciting. Spread the game, love it. But like, there's another one next week. Like every week, it's a lot. It's a lot. I want one to midnight. That's I already get 12 hours of football. So Delirious, will Christian Watson be viable this season with him nearing return or too many mouths to feed? So I took the stands of too many mouths to feed with Tucker Kraft. He then proceeded to blow up in one game and make me look like a fool. However, it's settled down a bit. So I hate to go that route. Jaden Reed out really helps a little bit, but Christian Watson is kind of a one-trick pony in that offense. He's kind of like Dontavian Wicks, kind of even honestly Matthew Golden's role. So I'll be interested to see how it goes. I would say no, he's not going to be viable. I feel like he's going to fall into that Dontavian Wicks type of territory. So where he's going to have a week or two here, it's going to be too hard to predict. I'm not like, if he's on the waiver wire and you got like, I don't know, somebody bad that you don't want or don't need, like, sure, I'm fine for the upside of it to potentially keep him on the roster. But I wouldn't expect it. Like, I'm not going to bank on it and be like, yes, this is how it's going to go. So that's where I'm at with Christian Watson. Just meh. Was never a huge Christian Watson guy. Just felt like he was a little too much of a one trick pony. So we got Golden. Is Jennings worth the start over Golden? Maybe. I'm not sold. Like Jennings and Bourne and exactly what this offense looks like. I kind of like Golden a little bit. I like the spot for him this week, Blue Force. So I'm gonna lean to Golden. Let's see here. Lad, DK, or Dubes. Start 2. I will go DK and Lad. There. I do like Romeo Dubes, but Donovan Chan, Quentin Johnson's out. Start Lad or Tet. I'd go Lad McConkey then. Maybe that's a chance. Wait, so did they just rule out a catch and a fumble? Oh, okay. I'm so confused on what was going on there. I think we all are. Let's see here. Do I start Chase Brown or Juwan Jennings? Just talked about Jennings a bit. I don't like Chase Brown, especially against Green Bay. So I will go Jennings. Yeah. I got Chase Brown almost, I think, as running back 30. I don't really know check where he is exactly. It's low. 27. Yeah. So I just don't like it. I'll go with Jennings. Jennings not super high for me at the wide receiver rankings either, Sean. Because I think Bourne's earned his right. You obviously has that connection with Mac Jones as well. So sure, Bourne sees a hefty share, and they're probably splitting it a little bit. But I do think that Jennings is a little bit better of a day than Chase Brown. Also, if anybody's watching this game, like, how does Justin Fields have like zero pocket awareness? Let's be honest. Like, what is going on by now? ASAP on X, Darnold or Goff. Jared Goff, Bourne, Dubes, or Flowers and Jennings, or a different mix. Little confused. Oh, okay. I would go Bourne and Dubes. There. I see what you were trying to ask. I understand it. Spicy Bijan Mustarton. I like the name. I like it. Pick one of these three: Montgomery, Swift, or Stevenson. Pick one of these three: Judy, A.O. Manor, and Dubza. So I will go Swift, Spicy Bijan Mustard, Swift, and then I will go Romeo Dubes. There. Flournoy or Shepherd off of waivers. I would go Shepherd there. Ertz or Mark Andrews for Ariel. I will go Zach Ertz there. Like the spot for him. I know it was a goose egg last week. Hopefully it's not this way. Sheesh. But Jaden Daniels typically loves himself some Zach Ertz. Good spot against the Bears to kind of attack a little bit. So Tiffany, Trice, Martin, pick up Lawrence and start over Mac Jones. Ooh, that's interesting. Let me double check. No, play Mac. Yeah, I'm going to go with Mac still, Tiffany. I'm doing it. We're doing it. All right. Mr. on X Puppy Dog Tears need a flex play for both leagues. You're welcome, mister. No need to thank me. It's my job, right? JK. Appreciate the thanks, mister. Haskins, Carter, Henderson, Waller, and Swift. Ooh, that's a tough one. Keenan Allen, Metcalf, Haskins, and Waller. That's a little easier for me. I will go Keenan Allen. Probably there. Haskins, Carter, Henderson, Waller, and Swift. So I will go Swift and Allen. There for you. Corey on X, Krosky Merritt, or Travis Etienne. Come on. We all know I hate Travis Etienne. JK. Hate, strong word. Dislike. But I will go Krosky Merritt there. Corey, I like to spot against him in the Bears. Likely shootout. Travis Etienne against Seattle. Not the worst, but not ideal. So yeah, I will go with Krosky Merritt. Mike on X, other league, Jennings or Khalil Shakir. I will go with Khalil Shakir. Although I was touting and hoping for the Keon Coleman breakout, still is yet to happen. Khalil Shakir a little bit safer, likely a better shot here against Atlanta, working the interior of the field. Restaurant Dom Bam over Charbonnet. I'll say sure. Kind of the same player, have them ranked right next to each other, Dom. That's what I got to say. Yeah, the matchup for the Cardinals is not the greatest. Against Indianapolis, have been pretty stout. Against running backs, now you add in the late designation that Bam Knight's the starter over Carter. Still probably going to see Carter. Still probably going to see DeMercado. You also got Jacoby Brissett instead of Kyler Murray. Like, it's just the math. This isn't great for Bam Knight or Carter, to be honest. So I would probably, I'm fine with it. But I think Charbonnet again is a low volume guy, but does see the red zone and likely scores touchdowns. But again, the Jaguars front, another tough defense. So like, meh, that's where I'm at. Very meh on both of them. So either way, flip a coin. But yeah, I'm fine. If you have that lean to Bam Knight, I'm fine with it. Oh, Jeff, need a wide receiver and tight end in PPR. London or Xavier Worthy, and Pitts or Fannin. So I will go Worthy and Fannin. Patrick, Rashad White or Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Yeah, I'm going with White. And Devontae Adams or Zay Flowers would be Devontae Adams. We got a punt-a-palooza going on in the TV. How's if I can spell? Inactives. Let's take a peek. Anybody surprising? Kyler Murray. Ooh, Patrick Ricard. Ooh, ouch. That stinks for the Ravens. I feel like he was out before. Couldn't remember. Juba, no Sanders, not surprised. Dallas. Ooh, no Cavante Turpin. That's a tough one there for Dallas. Colts. No Adonai Mitchell or Anthony Richardson. Hate to see it. Jaguars, nothing exciting. Rams. Ooh, Tutu Atwell. That's a bummer. Always a fun player there. No Quentin Johnston for the Chargers. No Jalen Wright again for the Dolphins. Hate to see it. Let's see here. Saints, nothing crazy. Yeah, Seahawks still missing cornerbacks. Who needs cornerbacks, right? No Calvin Austin for the Steelers. Okay. Nothing absurdly crazy. Tutu Atwell's a little bit of a bummer, but probably didn't have too many people starting him anyways. Okay, Teddy, what's up? Jalen Warren or Bam or Ridley? Teddy, I am going Jalen Warren pretty comfortably amongst those people there. So I will ride with that. Jalen Warren. Christ. Herbert versus the Finns or Baker versus the Niners. I will go with Herbert there. Benjamin Braden on X. Flex and half PPR. Kamani Vidal, Bam Knight, Michael Carter, or Jameson Williams. Ooh. I will go Jameson Williams there, Benjamin. Seems like the clearest picture of all of those. So. E-D, Darnold, or Love. I will go Jordan Love. A Shepard or Bourne. I will go Kendrick Bourne there. George, Bam Knight or Tajay Spears? Ooh, tough. George, I would go Bam Knight here. Like, we're not sure what Tajay Spears' role is just yet. He's easing in off of that ankle injury. I think he will have an expanded role, but for this week, we've been kind of told Bam Knight's going to get that opportunity. So I'll ride Bam Knight. Don't honestly like either. To be honest, George, if like Hassan Haskins is still out there, like I'd prefer him to both of them. So that'd probably be my play there. Dun, dun, dun. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Go AO Manor. On that question. Dun, 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 dun. Oh boy, oh boy. Whoa, okay. Come on, computer. Oscar, I'm getting to your question, I promise. I don't know what's going on here. It's just Damien has as Bam or Miller or Blue. I would go Bam Knight there. Mike, non-PPR, Achan, Rashad White, or Judkins. That's got to be Achan there. Like all three, but got to go with Achan there, Mike. Okay, Oscar. 2, I'm auto starting Chase, but need wide receiver 2 and flex. Debo, Olave, Marvin Harrison, or Pickens. Also Laparda. So here for the wide receiver 2, I would go with George Pickens. And then your flex, I would go with Debo Samuel. And then for your tight end would be, yes, I would stay with Laporta over Darren Waller for sure. Jack Drake May or Caleb Williams, I will go with Drake May. Ben Cleveland, pick 2, Odunze, Tet, Adams, and Worthy would be Odunze and Adams. I'm a moose now, Dak or Jordan Love. I will go with Jordan Love. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness. Dun, 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 dun. JN, Vidal, or Chiefs wide receiver Thornton. I'd go Tyquan Thornton personally. I mean, Vidal could have a big day, but you're looking at a mix between Vidal and Haskins. Thornton, I guess, is in a mix, but I go Tyquan Thornton just by a little bit. So I like the spot for him. He's been fairly heavily targeted, kind of a big play machine there for the Chiefs right now. And I think that probably continues against the Lions again tonight. So ball out on X, Rico Dowdle or Bill. Hate to do it, but I got to go Rico Dowdle. Good spot against the Dallas defense that gives up a lot on the ground. So we got Joe Biden's medication on X Superflex. Start 2 of Drake, Caleb, and Stafford. I will go with the young guns, Drake and Caleb. There. All right, Vaughn, Tucker or Cup? Let's see here. I will go with Tucker. Like the spot for him against the Titans probably this week. A little bit more than Cooper Cup. Very close. But yeah, like the spot. No Brock Bowers. Probably a little bit more volume there for Trey Tucker than Cooper Cup. Black Bear Carter, Tony Pollard, or Kamara. I'd go Tony Pollard here. I like the spot against the Raiders. Likely probably falls in the end zone once at least there for Tony Pollard. So Carm on X, Romo Dunze or Tet McMillan. I'm going to go Dunze here pretty comfortably. So pretty simple there against the Commanders. Expect to shoot out. Pretty simple for me to go with Dunze there. Jawan Jennings or Khalil Shakir for Ben C. I will go Khalil Shakir there. We can wait our fate till tomorrow. Really wish that these players would score some points for us here in this Sunday morning fiasco. That would be helpful. Mainly Garrett Wilson. All right. I mean, I know it's Pat Surtain. It's not even Wilson's fault, to be honest. Justin Fields is just meh. I hate being wrong, though, you know? Thought Wilson would still have a good day. And here we are. Just meh. Anthony, actually, I start Chase versus the Packers. If I do that, I have to pick up and play another defense or stream Pats or Jags. Yes, and the Patriots would be my play there, Anthony. PHB 808, McMillan or Henry. Wish I knew if this was Hunter or Derek or Travis. Anybody remember Travis Henry? That's a good time. We will go with Ted McMillan there. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see here. Let's see here. I see Pat Bryant getting involved this week. That's always fun. Caleb Williams or Bo Nix for Monica. Bo is playing. We got some questions slowing down. We're gonna watch a Troy Franklin touchdown right here. Is he even on the field? I can't even see. Too far away. No, he's not. JK's trying his hardest. He's trying his heart out. That's what we like to call a heart guy, you know? Heart and soul. The questions are kind of slowing down, so we'll hang out for a few more minutes here. And then if we don't get anything else rolling in, we'll dip out. Obviously, got the start sit thread and everything rolling over on my X accounts. I'll check in on it periodically until the start of the 1 o'clock games go. Obviously, it slows down a little bit. Got some final things to work out prior to that. Oh, we tried Cortland Sutton. Didn't work. Told you. Should have went to Troy Franklin. Sean, Flowers or Golden? So we got a couple more questions. Let's run through these. I will go Matthew Golden there. Sean? And then 54 from Treeball is on Smooth Biz on X. Flowers or Ken Walker the third. I would go Ken Walker the third there. Tough matchup against Jaguars defense. Pretty stout against the run. But yeah, Flowers with a partial injury. Not what I am looking to start there. All right, so here's my hope. Before we depart for this Sunday slate, this is what I'm going to manifest. A Garrett Wilson touchdown right here to win the game. Or Brees Hall. I'll take either. Prefer Garrett Wilson. But, yeah, I think the Jets are going to pull it off. I know. They haven't moved the football all day. It's wild hopes. But either way, It's been real. Every Sunday, 11 a.m., we're here, brought to you by FTN Fantasy. So head on over to ftnfantasy.com. Check it all out. We got everything and anything you possibly need. Weekly rankings, dynasty rankings, other sports for fantasy, large platform. DVOA with Aaron Schatz as well. Great information. Definitely can cross that into the fantasy realm. Kind of predicting a little bit too, like player production, future stuff. Really good kind of for dynasty stuff. Get access to the Discord chat if you sign up. Talk to us on a weekly basis, daily basis. Instead of just seeing me at 11 a.m., you can talk to me all day, every day, all week. So again, head on over there, check that out. And until next week, good luck. And again, if you have questions that come in after this show ends, go ahead and just toss it on X, and I will try to get to them before the 1 p.m. window closes and we lock those lineups in. And good luck to you all. And hopefully there was some good advice in here and we get some wins for us here in week 6. Till next time, take care.